Howdy folks, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another episode. It's about time we finally invade, or well, we attempt to invade the Soviet Union in 1940. But before going straight into it, one of you guys requested to see the divisional templates, and I was really surprised by how many likes that request received, which I guess that you guys are really interested in understanding how did I manage to conquer Europe in less than, I would say, 4 months, because between September and December of 1939, these absurd and crazy motorized Wehrmacht just subjugated Poland and all the Western democracies. So, this is the situation on May 29th, 1940. The Grenzwacht, the garrison divisions, they do only have 9 garrison battalions, 1 cavalry-based HQ, and 1 MP. Ideally, I should swap the MP for the engineers. I don't know if I will do it, maybe later. I don't know. Low priority as always. Now, the Infanteriedivisionen. The infantry divisions. This is the template that I, let's say, scripted for this alternate campaign with Germany. So, in terms of support companies, I do have the mechanized HQ, the motorized engineers, the motorized field hospital, the motorized logistics company, the maintenance detachment, as always, the armored cars, and the motorized signal detachment. Every division, because I'm really a nerd of military history and strategy, every division has the classical triangular structure. So 3 regiments of 3 battalions each. In this case, they are 3 regiments of motorized infantry, plain motorized, and 3 oh my god, I can't talk tonight. 3 battalions of motorized light artillery, 1 battalion of motorized medium artillery. So the for the German geeks, the these are the 105 millimeters Lichte Feldhaubitzen, and these are the 150 millimeters Schwere Feldhaubitzen. And then I have a battalion of motorized anti-tank units. This is, let's say, the backbone of my army. Now, to push a little bit into the enemy lines, I also have here the motorized divisions. And as always, because now the infantry divisions are motorized, the motorized divisions are now mechanized. They do have the famous Panzer Grenadier regiments. In terms of support, they pack quite a punch, because they have the mechanized HQ, the mechanized engineers, the field hospital, the mechanized logistics company, the maintenance detachment, the reconnaissance armored cars, signal detachment, and then they do have 2 more companies. They have the heavy artillery battery and the heavy AA battery. So the famous, imagine the famous Flak 88. And the mechanized division, the motorized division, consists of 9 Panzer Grenadier battalions here. 3, I would say they're Panzerwerfers battalions, so the motorized rocket artillery. 1 battalion of light Sturmgeschütze, and 1 battalion of light tank destroyers. Maybe I will make a copy of this division and just change here the support units here and turn them into the real Panzer Grenadier divisions. So again, with 9 Panzer Grenadier battalions, and maybe some self-propelled artillery and self-propelled or medium-sized tank destroyers. This is not yet active. The suppression division is quite simple, as many garrisons as possible. I saw quite enough army experience. I should do it just to increase the suppression values. HQ and MP just for suppression. Now the Panzer Division is labeled here as 1937. This is yeah, the old naming that I took from the game. Again, the Panzer Division has the same support companies. Oh, sorry, I should put this one. Has the same support companies of the motorized infantry, so the famous Panzer Grenadier divisions. It has, however, I don't know why I left this outfit. I will change it. I want to have, sorry, um, 6 battalions of Panzer Grenadiers, and then I have here two. I would say I would call it the Panzer Brigade, the yeah the Panzer Brigade. So 2 regiments of 2 battalions of respectively Panzer IVs and Panzer IIIs to have a mix of everything, and then maybe I should remove the anti-tank to have a combat width of 25. 3 battalions of light artillery, of motorized light artillery, and yeah, maybe I will do it later. And the mountaineer divisions, this is how they look like. I will have to motorize all the support companies and replace the mountaineers with the motorized infantry, because I will leave the motorized pack artillery here. And yeah, I think that's all. I mean, the fast spam divisions, they do only have one garrison and one HQ. Maybe I should even kick out the HQ to save some equipment. And yeah, I think that these are my templates, and so far they turned out to be quite successful, especially because they are fast. Okay, I have these modifiers of the speed and fuel consumption, but so far they seem to have handled the war in Europe quite well. Well, now let's see how things will go against the Soviet Union. Well, stay tuned and we will find out. Operation Barbarossa officially began at dawn of May 29th, 1940. And at the beginning, everything went even beyond my expectations. And that's because the Soviet Union had recently occupied the Baltic states, and the Red Army did not have the time to move troops along the new border. And yeah, as you can see right here, the Soviets did have plenty of gaps on the German-Lithuania border, and I simply exploited that with my motorized infantry. And I was like, cool, I mean, there is nothing here. I can just advance, and wow, I'm unstoppable. I was really overconfident that this would have ended in a striking victory for the Reich. And let's say, first big mistake was to over rely on the AI, as I just limited myself to draw some big orders of the field marshal and one order for Erwin Rommel's panzer group to just advance and yeah, keep advancing into the enemy territory. And yeah, this was the very first mistake. Second, the Red Air Force. The Red Air Force fiercely contested air superiority over the battlefields, and kept sending waves and waves of dive bombers. I mean, the close air support planes. Those planes constantly kept harassing my units, and they caused an incredible amount of losses. And anyway, regardless of that, I simply did not have enough planes to contest the Red Air Force over central Poland and western Ukraine. I did manage to achieve a small breakthrough in the north, in the Baltic states. I did close a small pocket on the Hungarian border, and I was like, yeah, cool, I mean, I can just wipe out everything. And no, definitely not. I managed to take Riga, and I managed to push north of the Dvina line, but then things just went out of control. Because third reason of why I failed is that I forgot to call to arms Slovakia. So my troops were in Slovakia, but they were not attacking the Soviet divisions in the pocket because Slovakia was out of the war. And you know how this worked in HOI4, and yeah. And yeah, basically, yeah, these are the three mistakes of why Operation Barbarossa in 1940 ended in a complete and utter disaster. Lack of air superiority, um, over reliance of the AI, and in this case, also fourth reason, um, the quick and unexpected and unseen Allied intervention in Western Europe. I did manage to repel two landing invasions in the Netherlands and in around the Ep, but the ones in Brittany and Normandy, yeah, I forgot. I did manage to repel them, but I think later on the Allies tried again a second time. Here I realized, cool, Slovakia was still out of the war, so maybe they have to join the war if I'm supposed to wipe out those Soviets caught in the pocket down there. And inevitably, after having exhausted my divisions because I did not manage to gain air superiority, I realized it was now too late because the Soviets managed to break through in southeastern Poland and they really threatened my lines with a massive encirclement. And because I didn't want to get all my troops encircled, I decided to pull back. And inevitably during the retreat, I lost a lot of divisions. This was really the saddest time in my Hearts of Iron 4 campaign because I usually I'm a very conservative player. I like to save the life of my men, and yeah. And when I saw that the Soviets were actually they landed in Königsberg, I was like, okay, then my defensive line is useless because I have to pull back again behind the Soviet project, and in the race for the defensive line, the Soviets just won because they had 308 divisions against mine. I have forgot how many were, and yeah, I just got encircled. I got trapped. I had no way to save my troops, and then exactly the second D-Day occurred, in which the Allies landed in Brittany, and they took control of Brest. And if you take control of a port, you are free to go wherever you want. And yeah, I tried again to pull back all my forces into Western Poland, but again my troops got encircled, got wiped out, and got annihilated. And the more of this happened, the thinner my lines would get. And at that point, there was absolutely nothing that could have stopped the Soviet steamroller. And with the Allies landing in France and me desperately trying to rally troops to stop the invaders, at least I thought, okay, maybe I could try to hold them in Britain, even though they will receive supplies and air superiority. Maybe I can still do it, but no, unfortunately not. I did play around with the orders of garrisoning, but yeah, there was absolutely nothing to do. I did my best to seal the Brittany breachhead, but on the Eastern Front, disaster loomed. And by the end of 1940, the Red Army broke through the Oder defensive line and entered Berlin. And yeah, when the Soviets entered Berlin, I realized that it was basically a game over. And again, I mean, for the second time on YouTube and for the first time in Black Ice, I lost to the AI. And here I just stopped playing. I was just recording and watching my troops getting annihilated by the Red Army before I decided all of a sudden to stop the campaign, because there was absolutely nothing that I could have done. And well, it was, let's say, really fun to play, and definitely I did learn a lot, especially that I must not concentrate all of my Panzer divisions, Panzer and Panzer Grenadier divisions into one sector of the front. And I must not rely on the AI to win the war in the east, and I will need to intervene manually with my micromanagement skills if I am willing to win the war, at least in 1941. The funny thing is that with the Red Army into Germany, the event of the infrastructures triggered. And yeah, that was all for this. Take care and see you soon.